Well, today I begin the first part of a four-part series entitled How to Live the Good Life in This Economy. And so today I want to start by asking you, what is the good life? Is the good life something that is defined by Oprah or Bart Simpson or some other hit TV show? Or is it defined by glossy magazines like 17 and Elle or Playboy? Is it defined by the lifestyle section in our local newspaper? What do you visualize as the good life? Is it having lots of money? Is it having a powerful job that influences lots of people? Is it sleeping with everyone you can without getting a disease? There used to be a bumper sticker, that people put on the back of their cars, and it said, "He who has the most toys before he dies wins." What is the good life? We live in a world that says anything goes. And so it says you define what the good life is. And it seems that the good life for so many people, as they define it, comes crashing down when the stock market crashes or unemployment hits. I have sat with people who have gone through economic disasters who say to me, "I've lost my job. I'm about to lose my house because I can't afford the mortgage. What will happen to me? My life is over." In a sense, they're saying, "I've lost the good life." What is the good life? Perhaps all of us need to take some time in the near future, and we need to do some deep personal questioning. There's an old song that Dionne Warwick sang, and she used these words. It's, "What's it all about, Alfie? Is it just for the moment we live? What's it all about when you sort it out, Alfie?" In these economic times, maybe it's time to sort out and define for ourselves what God intended to be the good life. Listen to these verses again. "Who is wise and understanding among you? Let him show it by his good life, by deeds done in the humility that comes from wisdom. But the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy, and I'm going to get a new mic. Full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere." Now, if you stop and listen to these verses, they don't talk about money or possessions or property. They talk about relationships. People-to-people relationships, positive relationships. But most importantly, they talk about our part, how we are to treat others in relationships. Listen to the words that are being used. Pure, peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and great fruit, good fruit, impartial and sincere. As we read over these words, it hits me that they are really words that we could call stress relievers. And let's face it, the less stress there is in our lives, the better our lives are. And we live in a society where there is a growing rate of absenteeism due to stress. And there's an alarming number of people who are getting letters from their doctors that they take to their companies so that they can go on stress leave. Now, as I read over these words, I realize that they're not only stress relievers, but also qualities. Qualities of someone living the good life God style. We can even say that they define the good life that God created us to live. The first word that is used there is pure. It means morally blameless. Do you know what ruins lives the most? It destroys families and it brings down politicians. Moral corruptness. You can imagine the time and energy it takes to hide moral corruptness. It takes a massive amount of our life energy to keep these things hidden from other people. Because if they find out, our life can be destroyed. It sidetracks us from living the kind of life that God wants for us. And so our passage today puts it in simple language for us. Be pure. Be morally blameless. Then you never have to worry about being found out. Because there's nothing to be found out. The next word that is used is peaceable. This word is used of people who seek to have good relationships with others and with God. Romans 12:18 says, if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Now this word peace comes out of the Old Testament meaning shalom. And shalom means a sense of wholeness, wholeness of life, wholeness of relationships. And so the kinds of relationships that we are to have with each other are relationships that are life-giving to the other people. And the peace that it talks about here starts with us and moves outward. Your conversation with people, your conversation about other people. Do you use a conversation that is not building up, encouraging, and developing of relationships? Then you are not living out of a sense of peace. And if you're not living out of a sense of peace, then the good life that God wants for you will not happen. The next word that is used is gentle or considerate. And this is the person who knows when it is actually wrong to apply the strict letter of the law. He knows how to forgive when strict justice gives them the perfect right to condemn. This person knows how to make allowances, when not to stand on their own rights, and how to temper justice with mercy. And it always remembers that there are greater things in this world than rules and regulations. Psalm 86:5 says, for you, Lord, are good and ready to forgive, and abundant in loving kindness to all who call upon you. That's the attitude that we are to have with one another. An attitude of forgiveness and loving kindness, and always seeking to make relationships better. I have a favorite line I use when someone makes a mistake. You know, when someone makes a mistake, it's easy to jump on them. It's easy to go, gotcha. But it's hard